So many reasons to complain. There's so much wrong in the world, and I wish things were different, 'cause I've got a little girl. The more we talk about it, the more we're giving it life. The more we stress about it, we're bringing stress to our lives. If you want love, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Be peaceful if you want to have peace. If you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. I wanted revolution. I wanted to take a stand, tear down injustice, and lift up the common man. Without love, it's pointless anyway. I decided to be loved so that I could make a change, yeah. If you want love, if you want love, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be peaceful if you want to have peace. If you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. What the world needs now, that you want to see, it's a little more love. Be peaceful. What the world needs now, if you want to, just a little more of your peace. If you want love, all love we've got to love you should be. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. Spread your love all around. That you wanna see. It's time to get off the sideline. Be peaceful. I need you if you wanna have, and I know you need me. If you want love, oh love, we got love you should be. Be the change that you wanna see. So many reasons to complain. There's so much wrong in the world, and I wish things were different, 'cause I've got a little girl. The more we talk about it, the more we're giving it life. The more we stress about it, we're bringing stress to our lives. If you want love, If you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Be peaceful if you want to have peace. If you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. I wanted revolution. I wanted to take a stand, tear down injustice, and lift up the common man. Without love, it's pointless anyway. I decided to be love so that I could make a change, yeah. If you want love, if you want love, if you want peace, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change, oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be peaceful if you want to have peace. If you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. What the world needs now, that you want to see, it's a little more love. Be peaceful. What the world needs now, if you want to, just a little more of your peace. If you want love, all love we've got to love you should be. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. Spread your love all around that you wanna see. It's time to get off the sideline. Be peaceful. I need you if you wanna have, and I know you need me. If you want love, oh love, we got love you should be. Be the change that you wanna see. So many reasons to complain. There's so much wrong in the world, and I wish things were different, 'cause I've got a little girl. The more we talk about it, the more we're giving it life. The more we stress about it, we're bringing stress to our lives. If you want love, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Be peaceful if you want to have peace. If you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. I wanted revolution. I wanted to take a stand, tear down injustice and lift up the common man. Without love, it's pointless anyway. I decided to be loved so that I could make a change, yeah. If you want love, if you want love, if you want peace, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change, oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be peaceful if you want to have peace. If you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah, be the change that you want to see. What the world needs now, that you want to see, is a little more love. Be peaceful. What the world needs now, if you want to, just a little more of your peace. If you want love, all love we've got to love you should be. Yeah, be the change that you want to see. Spread your love all around, that you wanna see. It's time to get off the sideline. Be peaceful. I need you if you wanna have, and I know you need me. If you want love, oh love, we got love you should be. Be the change that you wanna see. So many reasons to complain. There's so much wrong in the world, and I wish things were different, 'cause I've got a little girl. The more we talk about it, the more we're giving it life. The more we stress about it, we're bringing stress to our lives. If you want love, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. If you want to have peace, if you want love, then love you should be. Be the change that you want to see. Yeah, be the change that you want to see. I wanted revolution, wanted to take a stand, tear down injustice and lift up the common man. Without love, it's pointless anyway. I decided to be loved so that I could make a change, yeah. If you want love, if you want love, if you want peace, if you want a better world for all humanity, be the change, be the change, oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be the change that you want to see. Oh, be peaceful if that you wanna see. Yeah, be the change that you wanna see. What the world needs now, that you wanna see. It's a little more love. Be peaceful. What the world needs now, if you wanna just a little more of your peace. If you want love, all love we've gotta love you should be. Yeah, be the change that you wanna see. Spread your love all around, that you wanna see. It's time to get off the sideline. Be peaceful. I need you if you wanna have, and I know you need me. If you want love, oh love, we got love you should be.
Hello, good morning, happy Sunday, beautiful people. It is so very good to be here with you as we gather together to celebrate the magnificence and significance of the presence and power of God operating in, through, and as us. Let us begin, as we always do, by moving forward with the words of prayer. And I want to share a reading today from the Daily Word, an appropriate reading for Mother's Day. The word is mother's love, and the affirmation, the tenderness of mother's love shows me the presence of God on earth. Love is a life-giving force, a tremendous power that binds all people in God. It is through this love we are all members of one family. A mother and all those who selflessly share motherly love give warmth and depth from the free-flowing love of God. There is something so pure, so warm, and comforting about a mother's love. This is the love that encourages me when I doubt myself, that accepts me when the world feels cold, and that celebrates my successes and helps me shine. No matter how mother's love comes into our life, I recognize and give thanks for its divine source, as the motherly love I have felt throughout my life has blessed me. I pray those who have loved me so tenderly and fiercely know the love of God as they have shared it so generously. And again, the affirmation, the tenderness of mother's love shows me the presence of God on earth. And so from this place of awareness, I invite you to get still and close your eyes, and let's take a breath in together. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Centering ourselves here and now in the present moment, we take a conscious breath in and a conscious breath out. Sinking deeper in mind, we take an intentional breath in and an intentional breath out. We are here now. We are here now. We are here now. There is only one mind, only one power, only one presence that is working in all, through all, and as all. There is one life. That life is Mother, Father, God. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. That life is all life now. It is the life of every mountain, every river, every sea. It is the life of every grain of sand. It is the life of every hair on your head. It is the life of every star, every sun, every moon, every galaxy. It is the life of all. And it is your life now. It is my life now. It is our life now. And what I know to be true is that God is always and only right here and right now. For God neither comes nor goes. It is here. It is now. It is omnipresence. It is constantly encountered. It is everywhere at all times. There is no spot where God is not. And as I recognize that reality, I recognize that I sit in the seat of God now. I recognize that you sit in the seat of God now. I recognize that I sit in the seat of love now. I recognize that you sit in the seat of love now. You sit in the seat of power now. You sit in the seat of freedom now. You sit in the seat of love and freedom and joy and ease and grace and compassion and nurturing now. For there is no spot where God is not. All that we could ever know or describe or ascribe to God to be, it is here, it is now, and is right here with you. Not only is it with us, it is within us. For we are one with God and one of God. What I remember and know to be true is that what God is in the large, we are in the small. God is the ocean, the eternal ocean, and we are the wave, the active, living wave. And so it is out of this awareness that I speak this word of faith. I speak this word of expectancy. I speak this word on behalf of myself and every soul that is listening now and at any point in time in the future. As we are grateful and thankful to gather together in this space that we call the weekend service of Celebration Spiritual Center, as we are grateful and thankful to gather together in community, to gather together with our family, our spiritual family, we are grateful and thankful to have a space that allows us to practice what we believe to be true, that reminds us of what is true and emboldens us to live out these truths as the truth of our very own lives and prosper and prosper and prosper and prosper. I am so grateful for the prospering power, for the prosperity and the abundance and the miracles and the answered prayers that come as a result of us organizing together in community around these spiritual truths and endeavoring and daring to practice them as our very own practices, to practice them in our own lives and experience good after good after good after good. I know right here and now, and what I know to be true is that there is no ceiling on our good. There are no limits on God. Therefore, there are no limits on us. There are no limits on God. Therefore, there are no limits on your blessings, on your miracles. We call them all in now. And we choose, we know right here and now that we will leave here differently than when we walked in. So with joy and thanksgiving, I now release this prayer. I release it back into the law, which is always in operation, responding and becoming according to the pattern of thought that we provide. Together with joy and thanksgiving, we say amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yes, yes. And so it is. Well, hello again. Good morning. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. I'm Pastor Greg.
I'm Pastor Yolanda.
We are so grateful and thankful to be here with you again on another Sunday for another weekend service as we continue to do what we do at CSC, and we continue to experience miracles upon miracles and blessings upon blessings. If you are a first-time guest, hello, welcome. We're so grateful that you chose to join us today, that something or someone brought you here, whether it was a person or the algorithm. We're happy that you found us. And what we're confident in is that something will be done, something will be said that will support you in thriving in your life and having an empowered week. Now, the information you see here on your screen is how you access your digital connection card. Just text the keyword welcome to that phone number, 347-472-1078. Just the keyword is all that's needed. Please don't add any other messages. The reason why is because that keyword triggers an automated response. You'll receive the link to your digital connection card. Click that link. It'll take you to the card. Enter your information. We just need your name and your email address. Submit the information, and then you'll receive a follow-up text that says you're all set, and indeed you are. You're all set. You'll be on our mailing list. You'll receive our weekly email that goes out on Fridays and all other correspondence to keep you abreast of what's happening at CSC. And of course, if you want to reach out to us, you can respond to any of those emails, and we will see your response. But more importantly, again, we're happy that you're here. We're excited about what you will receive. And we would love for you, if you feel so inclined, to shout yourself out in the comments. You see folks are already commenting and letting us know where they're connecting in from. You may find that there's someone connected in your city, your state, or your country right here and now. I also want to say, particularly if you're outside of the United States or for some reason you're unable to text that keyword to that phone number, look here in the description. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you may need to click show more or open up the description so you can see the full description. The direct link to that connection card is there. So we've received that in the past. If you don't have a cell phone, if you're connected here, then we know you have the internet. So you can click that link and that'll take you directly to connection card. So, from this place of awareness, this is a wonderful moment for us to move forward with our news and updates. We have some wonderful things to share with you. And then we get into the meditation, the music, and the message. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers and mother figures that are a part of the CSC family. We send you all lots of love and appreciation. We also are holding space for everyone in our community who this may be a complicated holiday, who you may be experiencing grief and joy at the same time as you think about those who have transitioned and those who are no longer with us. As a mother, you may have experienced the transition of one of your own children. And so this day may also bring its numbers of complications. And so we hold space for each and every one of you, knowing that many people are moving through different things on this day. And we celebrate the power of mother, the energy of mother, recognizing and knowing that in truth, God is the mother of all. Every third Sunday is God Talk Sunday. That means that next Sunday, May 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be the God Talk. What is the God Talk? It is your opportunity to ask questions. One of the things that many spiritual communities don't make space for is to ask questions. You may hear something in a sermon. You may read something in a New Thought text. You may hear PY say something in the meditation. You may hear something in a song and you have questions. Or you may be trying to navigate the challenges of your life and you want to use these principles to apply them to your life, but you're not really sure how. This is the space to ask those questions. No question is off limits. The God Talk gets real and raw. It's also incredibly loving and empowering and healing. But you got to be in the space to ask the question. And so we gather together via Zoom. You have to be on our mailing list to get that link and password. So for those who are first-time guests, you saw that information for the digital connection card. You'll see that again throughout the stream so that you can join our mailing list and be with us next Sunday for the God Talk. It's going to be wonderful, as it always is. This is the month of May, which means that Memorial Day weekend, CSC will be closed. So the last Sunday of this month, we will not be streaming live. That also means we won't be having Healing Sunday because that's the fourth Sunday. But we trust that you all will enjoy the holiday weekend and spending time with friends and family, doing whatever brings you joy, doing whatever fills up your cup. And then, of course, we'll be back together in June to begin the Truth Sunday Masterclass. If you have a prayer request, you can send that prayer request to prayerchampions@celebration.sc.org. We are always holding the entire community in our hearts and our minds, knowing the highest and best for you. And we recognize that you may have a specific prayer request. And so we ask you to email that email address, again, prayerchampions@celebrationsc.org. With your prayer request, it may be for yourself on behalf of someone else, all good. And as you send that prayer request, know and see it as a way of releasing the burden from your mind so that you're opening your heart and mind, making yourself available to hear the voice of Spirit and to hear the answer to the question, what is mine to do? And how do I use the truth that I know? We also encourage you that as your prayer is answered, as you have a prosperity report, as something wonderful happens in your life, to email us at that address and let us know how prayer is working in your life. Now, every Wednesday morning, we gather together at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Momentum Prayer Call. The Momentum Prayer Call is a wonderful way to jumpstart the momentum of your day in the middle of the week. We start with prayer. We start with the reading, then we pray, and then we move on with our day. And so we encourage you to join us. We encourage you to keep this in your calendar, put that number in your contacts so that you can access it easily and effortlessly. Now, if you're unable to join us live, all good, we understand. There's a playback number. That playback number will give you access to the most recent prayer. Every prayer is recorded. So if you just call that playback number, enter the access code, and wait, the most recent prayer will play. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this is something that is near and dear to our hearts as pastors of CSC. This is something that we've been intentional about since the founding of CSC, to bring a focus on mental health awareness, not just from the place of awareness, but to realize that we thrive together, to realize that we must lean on each other, and also, more importantly, to end the stigma. To end the stigma that keeps so many of us Black and brown folks from not going to therapy, to end the stigma that keeps so many of us Black and brown folks not taking our medication or hiding that we're taking medication because we think, it means something about us, that we're weak, or we can't, we're not like other people. It's very important that we continue to talk about this and continue to center this. You need your pastors, you need your therapists, you need a whole team to support you in thriving in your life. And so your mental well-being is very important. Our study series of the month, we're keeping the focus of attention on the masterclass from 2020, Thrive, Living in Complete Prosperity. This masterclass was a study of the book, Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. And we're centering this because when we look at the state of the world and the economy right now, it mirrors 2020. And that's why we were so deliberate and intentional in teaching that text for the masterclass in 2020. And we know that it is something that is filled with wonderful reminders and timely reminders for each and every one of us as we are experiencing the current economic climate. We started this year by declaring something powerful. We are declaring this year to be Prosper 2025, joy, well-being, connection, and abundance. And so staying in that vibration of Prosper 2025, of course, that was the sermon series for January, and we promised that there would be more coming in the year. And so for our masterclass, which begins on June 1st, the text that we're going to be studying is Open Your Mind to Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. Write this down now. Open Your Mind to Prosperity. Take a screenshot if you need to. Open Your Mind to Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. This is the book that we're going to be studying. For those of you that may be fairly new to CSC and you weren't a part of any of the master classes that we've done in the past, what we do is we take the summertime and we kind of shift what the weekend service looks like. And so what PY and I are going to be doing is teaching this book line by line, offering powerful insight, offering powerful commentary to help you fully embrace and understand what's being talked about. Other times, our commentary will even talk about where we disagree with the text, because what we recognize, particularly in the New Thought space, we recognize that many of the white teachers in New Thought have a plethora of blind spots. And so as I'm thinking about this text right now, some of the examples that she uses are problematic. We're going to highlight that because we recognize that the truth and the principles are true. And sometimes when we hear, for instance, the use of Christopher Columbus as a prosperity example, it turns us off from the entire text. So we're going to name those things and call those things out, but get to the principle so that you can apply the principle into your life. So the True Sunday Masterclass starts the first Sunday in June, June 1st. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. Now, we decided that we wanted to take the masterclass experience up another notch. We wanted to take it to another level. And so last week at the info session, we introduced the CSC Prosperity Circle. What is the Prosperity Circle? Well, the CSC Prosperity Circle is more than a class. It is your summer pathway to complete prosperity. What is complete prosperity? Happiness, radiant health, success, and money. And so in the Prosperity Circle, if you choose to join, what will you receive? Well, of course, you'll receive the masterclass teachings every Sunday via live stream. Everybody will receive that, whether you join the circle or not. But if you join the circle, you will also receive 3 exclusive Prosperity Circle Zoom sessions with PY and myself. That's going to be on the first Sundays of June, July, and August. You're also going to receive weekly prosperity text messages to keep you aligned and inspired. You will have access to a private online community through the Church Center app, which we're really excited about. That's going to keep us engaged throughout the week, and it's also going to create connections within the community. You'll receive special prosperity assignments curated to deepen your growth. You'll have early access to CSC Live, which is an immersive live stream church experience unlike anything we've done before. And we're very excited about that because it's going to create the opportunity to engage directly with us during the live streams with Q&A and shared dialogue. Finally, you receive a money-back guarantee if you're not wholly satisfied after 13 weeks. What does that mean? We'll get into that in a second. Now, what are you committing to by joining the circle? You're committing to attending the weekly live stream services throughout the summer. You're committing to read and study, Open Your Mind to Prosperity, which is the book that we're using. You're committing to maintaining a daily spiritual practice centered in prosperity consciousness. You're committing to sharing and engaging in the Prosperity Circle community in the Church Center app. And finally, you're committing to participating in the giving experiment by contributing weekly. The suggested minimum is $10, but you can give any amount that feels good to you, but that is the suggested minimum. And so you heard me say there's a money-back guarantee. What does that mean? Well, CSC's commitment to you is that you will have a more abundant life at the end of this 13-week period, or the money you have given will be returned. Upon request, the money given to this church by the participant will be cheerfully refunded if the participant is not wholly satisfied with the results of the Prosperity Circle. And so you have to join the circle. You have to make that commitment in the registration. You will be deliberately committing to each of the things that we just shared. And in turn, CSC is committing to cheerfully refunding if you are not wholly satisfied, right, upon request. So we encourage you now to join the Prosperity Circle. You can scan the QR code you see here on your screen. You can go to celebrationsc.org/register to register. When you click the button there for the Prosperity Circle, all of the details that I just shared are there. If you know someone that you think might be interested in joining the circle, by all means, share that information with them so that they can make a decision to make that commitment and join us for the circle. And we have 20 plus folks that have already joined the circle. We're looking for many, many more. We expect there'll be at least 50 or more people in the circle this summer.
And if you weren't able to join us last week for the info session and you want more details, that is actually available to you on our website. It's available to you in our weekly email. So please check that out and sign up, because we're already in communication with the people in the Prosperity Circle. We're not waiting to start prosperity. We are starting prosperity now.
Yes.
So don't miss out. Join us. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, go scan the QR code or go to our website, celebrationsc.org/register. And that concludes our news and updates for this Sunday, which means this opens up the space for us to go within as we are led in the meditation experience with PY.
Yes, it is time for the meditation experience. The opportunity to go within and remember the truth of yourself and for yourself, that you're never separate from God. Many times when we are in fear, doubt, worry, insecurity, uncertainty, it's because we have believed something untrue about ourselves and about God. Right where you sit, as PG was saying in the opening prayer, God is. And so there is a certainty of purpose. There's a certainty of knowing that any question you have, anything that's happening that is causing you to be in worry, doubt, and fear can be eliminated by remembering the truth of your connection, by allowing God to guide you, support you, and by resting in God, not in your own power, not in your own strength, but resting in the certainty of the unlimited power that God is. And so this month we are using the affirmative thought, I rest in God, not just to sleep, right? But to rest in the certainty, the knowingness, and the power of God. When you say, I rest in God, it makes that moment, that day, that hour, a time of peace. When you rest in God, the world around you, whatever things that are going on, fade into the background because you're resting in the truth that God has never left you, that answers and insight are always available to you. So we rest in God. We let go of what we thought the answer should be. We let go of what we thought the mistakes we made were, and we rest in the knowingness that we are unconditionally loved, supported, guided by God. So to say I rest in God is not just a little statement. It's a big pronouncement that you can relax and sink deeper into. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to rest in God. We're going to let it all go. We're going to bring ourselves present and let God and rest do the rest. So, right where you are, go ahead and prepare yourself for this time of meditation. Bring your feet to the floor. Whether you're seated upright on a chair, on your sofa, but seated upright, allowing the feet to gently make contact with the floor. Maybe you raise the heels or raise the toes, but just to make your focus right there on the feet, and then release the feet and let them sink deep into the earth beneath you, the ground beneath you, the carpet beneath you, whatever you want to call it. Let them sink into the awareness that you get to rest right now. Look around the room. Notice where you are. You're not in the past. You're not worried about a future that doesn't exist. You're right here, resting in God. Plant the palms on the tops of the thighs. And then, from this place of safety, certainty, and peace, allow the eyelids to gently close. And that simple act of closing the eyelids makes the opportunity for connecting to the breath more present. The simple act of closing the eyelids allows the breath to take over and guide the peace throughout your body. So let's just notice the breath right here, right now, and rest in God. And whether the breath appears to be deep or appears to be shallow, we place no judgment on the appearance of the breath. We are just grateful for the breath, that it is moving through our body, that it moved all night long, that it guided us even as we sit here and watch this service. The breath is available, and we are grateful. So now, let's take conscious control of the breath. Let's send our focus of attention, our focus of awareness, and the breath deep into the low belly. We take the breath nice and deep to signal the parasympathetic to take over. No shallow breathing for us, deep, full breaths. And we're going to breathe together for a count of 4, inhaling. Hold for a count of 4. Release the breath for a count of 4. And then sink deeper into our rest, sinking deeper in mind, deeper in God, and deeper in rest. Let's begin. Inhale. Hold for 4. Relax the jaw and let that release come from deep in the low belly. Sigh it out. And as the sound is released, we sink deeper and deeper and deeper. Again, breathing deep into the low belly. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, release the breath, sigh it out. and rest deeper and deeper and deeper. In through the low belly now, up through the rib cage. So we're connecting that deep breath and allowing it to fill up the midsection like a big balloon. Hold it there. Relax the jaw. Let yourself release whatever you've been carrying. Sigh it out. And sink deeper and deeper into the awareness that God is here and rest is available. In through the low belly, again up through the rib cage. We've expanded the sides. Now let's expand the front and the back of the body. Hold it there. And without collapsing the body, just release the breath, sigh it out, nice and easy. And into the silence we go as we sink deeper. Into the rest we go as we sink deeper. And into the support we go as we sink deeper. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, now allowing that breath to rise to the heart chakra, center of the chest. So a full breath from the low belly through the midsection up to the heart chakra. Hold it there. Open the mouth, relax the jaw, sigh it out. Sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, rising to that heart center, that altar to the divine. Hold it there. And as you sigh it out, let the shoulders relax with that breath. Sigh it out. Sinking deeper and deeper into the truth that God is here and all is well as we rest in God. Beautiful, everyone. Now let's take this feeling of relaxation and give our bodies time to respond as we slow it down even more. We're going to breathe in through the nostrils for a count of 6. We're going to hold for a count of 6. And this time, close the lips for a count of 6. Exhale through the nostrils for a count of 6. And then enjoy our rest, our certainty, our connection to God for 6. Let's begin. Inhale. Hold, closing the lips. And exhale when you're ready through the nostrils for 6. Our body is accepting the signal to drop deeper and deeper and deeper. So let's do that now for 6. And let's take a few rounds of this deep, healing, connecting, loving breath, slowing it down on the inhale, holding and exhaling through the nostrils, allowing yourself the opportunity to rest in God. Last round here. And while it may be the last round of conscious breath, your body is responding to the deep relaxation that you are giving it. So let's send that energy from the crown of our head down through the soles of our feet, taking your focus of attention to the crown as we open to receive more of this divine certainty pouring down through the crown. Across the third eye, it opens to receive and see and know that resting in God is the way to go. Let that flow down the throat, that we speak with certainty across the shoulders as they relax even more, down the arms and out the fingertips. Let that energy now flow down the subtle body, down the spinal column, stopping momentarily to notice and allow the release at the hips, the glutes, the thighs, the hamstrings, the knees now, the calves and the shins. We are releasing any weight as that energy flows across the ankles. The soles of the feet are connected. And go ahead from this place of awareness and just scan your body. Notice if you're holding any tension, if you're gripping anywhere. Without judgment, send the peace of God there, send the love of God there, and relax. As we prepare for our silent time, you may want to turn the palms up on the thighs or keep them turned down. It is completely up to you. But we know that from this place of openness and receptivity, we receive more rest, more clarity, more insight, more truth. I will monitor the time. You take the inward journey, and if your mind wanders, it is okay. The mind is just doing what it is designed to do. It thinks, but we have the opportunity to bring it back to whatever thought we choose. And we choose to remember that I rest in God. You rest in God. We all rest in God now. With our eyelids still closed, we remember that today is a day of peace because you rest in God. And while the world is torn by winds of hate, you rest, and your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. And with your eyelids still closed, you remember that appearances cannot intrude on you. You call all to join you in your rest, and they will hear you and come to you because you rest in God. And with your eyelids still closed, you will remember that there is no other voice that you listen to but the voice of truth, love, peace, ease, and prosperity. If your palms are turned up, go ahead and turn them back down. Taking this opportunity to bring yourself present and begin to gently wake the body. Maybe you wiggle the toes again, or raise the heels, wiggle the fingers, whatever feels right to you. But from this place of connection, we inhale, nice full breath, and exhale as we release the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale up, full breath, shoulders up by the ears. Exhale as we release the shoulder blades back and down gently. And one last time, inhale, full, complete breath. Shoulders up by the ears. Exhale as we release the shoulder blades back and down. And we stop the movement and realize the connection is still there. Bring palms together at heart center. And if you are able, bow the chin towards the fingertips, noticing that that energy is still moving peacefully through your body, along the neck, all the way down the spine, and grounded and connected through the feet. Allow the eyelids to gently open, all this gentle movement. Find a nice soft gaze, no strain on the eyes or the experience. Inhale, raise the chin, raise the gaze, release the breath, maintain the peace and the rest. Namaste.
Yes, yes. Thank you, PY.
You're welcome.
We maintain the peace. We maintain the peace. And of course, you can continue to maintain the peace and maintain the experience of meditation by going to our YouTube channel. There's a full playlist of all of the meditations from every Sunday and from past years. Additionally, the meditation airs again every Monday at 12 noon. So we are moving forward with our service and with our series as we continue this month with the series, The Law of Abundance, and I'm looking forward to sharing today's sermon. But of course, before the message, we got to get into the music. And so we'll hear from Soul 21 in just a second, and I'll meet you on the other side with today's sermon, What About the Billionaires? See you then.
So this song takes us even deeper into that understanding that when we understand that God is all there is, we understand that it is our everything, my everything. It's the thing that I live, move, and have my being in. When you breathe in air, that's your air. I can't breathe in your air. That's God. That's your God that you're breathing in. The blood that's flowing in your veins, that is your God. God within you, my God, flowing through your veins. Yes, yes? Yes. It is your absolute everything. In you I live and breathe. You're and all I see. life in me, my everything. All right, yeah.
Your infinity, stars and galaxies, yeah.
You are life in me, my everything. There is one life. Yeah, yeah. It's the power. It says it loves me. And it says I'm worthy. And there is nothing that can change. Where would I be without this love? Where would I be without this joy? In you I live and breathe. You're in all I see. You are life in me. My everything. Your infinity, the stars and the galaxies. You are life in me. My everything. Yeah. It's in the mountains and it's in the flowers. It's the power that we use to create the life we see. Oh, and it says it loves me. And it says I'm worthy. And there is nothing that can change this love. Oh, nothing exists without love. No, nothing exists without love. And only where. In you I live and breathe. You're in all I see. You are life in me. My everything. Your infinity. The stars, the galaxy. Oh, you are life in me. You are the breathe. Oh, you're in all I see. God, you are life in me. Your infinity. Stars and galaxies. Oh, you are life in me. Yeah. You, I live and breathe. You're my everything. Oh, in you I live and breathe. You're my everything. Soul 21, can you sing that for me? You're my everything. You're my everything. My everything. You, I live and breathe, yeah. I live and breathe. Oh, my everything. You're everything. And you tell me I'm worthy. I live and breathe. Tell me you love me. You tell me I'm worthy, yeah. Tell me you love me, my everything. I live and breathe. Oh, you're my everything. Oh, my. This is personal. In you I live and breathe. Make it personal. You're in all I see, yeah, yeah. God, love, peace, joy, youth, whatever name feels good to you right now. You living and you moving and you're swimming in, yeah. You're mine. Oh God, we live in you. And you move through us. Yeah, you're mine. You're mine. You are living. In you I live and breathe. You're my everything. You're my everything. There is no separation when you are living, breathe. You I live and breathe. You're my everything. So it is. So it is. So it is.
Oh my, oh my. Yes, yes, yes. In you I live and breathe. You're in all I see. You are life in me, my everything. Yes, yes. Thank you, Soul 21, for that song. Oh, that felt so good. That felt so powerful. I definitely felt it here. I hope you felt it where you are. Hello again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I know it is good, and I'm happy to be here with each and every one of you. I see many of you have shouted out where you're from. I see Orlando's in the building. I see Charleston, South Carolina's in the building. Chi-Town, aka now Pope Town, is in the building. Memphis, Tennessee is in the building. The Boogie Down Bronx. If you want to shout yourself out in the comments, please do. And also, I encourage you to take this time to say hello to someone that you see that is commenting, someone you may know or someone you don't know, because we are one family. We're connected. And so we can spread love and we can share love. And we want to keep that good vibration of love happening in the comments. And as you're doing that, I would love for you to join me in our centering prayer. And so please repeat after me. I welcome the spirit of truth into my mind and let it grow in my heart. Thank you, God, in me, through me, and as me. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. Yes, yes. Well, again, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are here and the moms that are represented. We love you. We see you. We honor you. We appreciate you. And I trust that all of the mothers will be receiving the love that they give out so generously, that you give out so generously to so many, that you receive that a hundredfold today in whatever way feels good to you. Now, of course, before we get into the message, I always love to just review, to take our minds through where we've been, because we've covered a lot of ground here in talking about the law of abundance. We started in week 1 with the law is my shepherd, understanding that the law is the action and activity of God in our lives, right? It's not a set of rules. In truth, God is a verb. And so this active thing that we call God is our shepherd. And of course, as the psalmist writes, we shall not want. We shall never lack anything good. In week 2, we turn the phrase, there's always something, on its head, because the spiritual principle teaches us that something can never come from nothing, and nothing can ever become something. And so instead of affirming it in the negative, there's always something. Every time I turn around, there's another problem, another problem, another problem. We use that affirmatively and say there's always something. And so when I feel myself wanting to move into a place of lack and limitation and scarcity, I affirm there's always something, recognizing that I have something. And when you have something, something can always become something more. In week 3, on Easter Sunday, I demand a resurgence. I demonstrated how we can make use of the energy and power of resurrection, but also the energy and power of the law of abundance by demanding that which we desire to see and experience in our lives. In week 4, Unrivaled, we looked at the debut of the powerful and wonderful women's basketball league, Unrivaled, and how that came into being as it was founded by Nafisa Collier and Breanna Stewart. And I took that story to demonstrate how the law of abundance actually works, and how out of the unwanted, something powerful, beautiful, and brand new can be birthed. Last week, Abundance is My Religion. We looked at a story in Working with the Law, which is the chapter that we've been focusing on, the law of supply, which is the law of abundance. And there's a story there about a man who was afraid that he was going to lose his job. And Raymond Hollowell counseled him to do something very specific. And what I say in the sermon last week is that what he instructed him to do was to make abundance your religion. Now, religion tends to have a connotation to it, and it can be a triggering word for many, but we broke down why religion is a beautiful and powerful word. It means what you're connected to, what you're bound to. And of course, we're always making something our religion, and I encourage you to stop making some of those other things your religion and make abundance your religion. Now, whenever I teach prosperity or teach on prosperity and abundance, there are 2 questions that usually come up. I had the wonderful opportunity of giving a lecture at One Spirit Seminary a few Saturdays ago, and a question came up about the prosperity gospel, because we recognize that the prosperity gospel is problematic. We know that. And so people are always interested, because there's so much conversation about prosperity in New Thought. How do you reconcile the 2? The other question that tends to come up is around capitalism and billionaires. Now, in terms of the prosperity gospel, I encourage you all, if you have that question about the prosperity gospel, to go specifically this year in our January series, Prosper 2025. In the second week, the sermon that I delivered was the gospel of well-being. Because here at CSC, we do not teach the prosperity gospel, but we teach prosperity, recognizing and knowing what prosperity is. It is well-being in every area of our lives. And so I break down the 5 pillars of complete prosperity, and that outpictures then as happiness, radiant health, success, and money in every area of our lives. And so if you want to understand the difference between this prosperity that we teach and the very problematic prosperity gospel, you can go to that sermon. But what about the billionaires? We see what's happening in the United States. Elon Musk is using our country to make himself richer. We've watched billionaires and CEOs of major corporations receive billions of dollars in compensation, and are receiving billions of dollars in tax incentives and other forms of payment, cozy up to the felon in chief in the White House and almost literally kiss the ring in order to benefit from his criminal ways. We've watched billionaires like Jeff Bezos undermine the independence and integrity of journalism in our most recent presidential election cycle. Yes, we have a billionaire problem in the United States of America, but the fact that they're billionaires isn't the problem. Say that again. I want to make sure you hear that. Yes, we have a billionaire problem in the United States, but the fact that they're billionaires isn't the problem. I think we can all agree that when we look at the landscape of the so-called billionaire class, we recognize that all billionaires are not the same. Right? I think we can agree that there is a stark difference between Elon Musk, a billionaire, and Mark Cuban, a billionaire. I think we can agree that there's a stark difference between Jeff Bezos, the billionaire, and Robert F. Smith, the Black billionaire. We can agree that there's a huge difference between Melinda Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, both billionaires, but clearly they're operating in the world in a different way. And of course, when I think of all of the Black billionaires, we see that they generally show up in the world differently than their white counterparts. Oprah Winfrey, LeBron and Savannah James, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Rihanna, Michael Jordan, Irvin Magic Johnson, and others show up in the world very differently than many of their white counterparts. And so taking all of this into account, there is a healthy conversation to be had about billionaires, capitalism, and the law of abundance. And I think the question, what about the billionaires, is a very valid question. But the most important point that I want to leave you with, if you take nothing else from this sermon, is this. What we see in a billionaire like Elon Musk is not an example or a sign of abundance. I'm going to say that again. What we see in a billionaire like Elon Musk is not an example, nor is it a sign of abundance. And so this law of abundance that we've been talking about for the past 5 weeks, he ain't got nothing to do with this. Elon Musk is not making use of the law of abundance. Elon Musk is driven and motivated by greed. And greed is driven and motivated by lack, limitation, and scarcity, which is the exact opposite of abundance. It is the exact opposite of this mindset that says the law is my shepherd, I shall not want. When you are scared and there is not enough, you steal, you swindle, you hustle, and you grift, all in the name of trying to fill a sense of emptiness, all in the name of and in worship to lack, limitation, and scarcity. Last week, we affirmed abundance is my religion. Well, I believe that every day Elon Musk and others like him affirm lack is my religion. Scarcity is my religion. Limitation is my religion. And because they affirm that, then they're attracting ideas that support them in trying to take more and get more and swindle and grift and hustle. And so he takes and he takes and he takes. I'm hearing Hamilton right now in my head. And so he schemes and he schemes and he schemes. It's interesting because Forbes magazine has a metric that they call a philanthropy score, right? Forbes tracks the net worth of individuals and writes about the billionaire class. And they give billionaires a score based on their philanthropy, right? And so Elon Musk scores a 1 compared to someone like Melinda Gates or Mackenzie Scott, who score a 5. And they're at that's the highest mark in the billionaire class. And we know, if you follow the news, Melinda Gates and Mackenzie Scott both are regularly making headlines for the ways in which they are pushing a very powerful, beautiful philanthropic vision in their giving, the types of organizations that they're supporting, HBCUs, et cetera, et cetera. And so we see that they're operating in the world very differently. And Forbes notes that because they have a score of a 5, which is the highest amongst their peer group, and he has the score of a 1. Further, his philanthropy is scrutinized because, not surprisingly, a significant portion of his foundation's donations seem to be directed towards his own business interests. So he's taking advantage of the benefits that he gets through philanthropic endeavors. He's taking advantage of the benefits that he receives from having a foundation and pouring that back into benefiting himself. And of course, we see the similar pattern with Doge, right? This agency that was created under this current administration. And we see that the federal agencies that Doge specifically is targeting all point back to Elon Musk's own business interests. In many cases, he wants to weaken those agencies so that it allows him to operate unfettered, without regulations, and without the protections that were designed to protect US citizens. So again, I say greed is driven and motivated by lack, limitation, scarcity, and by smallness, not abundance. And so when we ask the question, what about the billionaires, and we think about someone like Musk, we must recognize that the law of abundance, the law of supply, the reality of this beautiful truth that we've been talking about for the past 5 weeks has nothing to do with him. And so simply having $1 billion plus net worth does not indicate whether one possesses an abundance mindset, but a tree is always known by its fruit. The fruit is how one operates in the world. The fruit is how one treats others, the least of these, right? We see that there's this insidious and cruel agenda to take from those that need so many of the protections the most, right? To try to take away Medicare and Medicaid, to try to take away Section 8 and housing, and take away Pell Grants and student loans, right? We see this, how one treats the least of these. The fruit is how one uses their resources for harm or good. The fruit is how one gives from their overflow or how they hoard it. And so another important point in response to this question, what about the billionaires, takes us back to the text, Working with the Law by Raymond Hollowell. And if you're just joining us in this series, this is the text that we've been looking at, specifically the chapter titled The Law of Supply, which I am also naming as the Law of Abundance. And in the text, Hollowell writes this: remember not to confuse money with supply. Money is but one of the numerous means of supply. Money is not the root of evil, but the love of money is. If you concentrate upon money alone and use every means to gather it and hoard it, you are forcing the law to close out other good. I'm going to read that again. If you concentrate upon money alone and use every means to gather it and hoard it, you are forcing the law to close out other good. If you concentrate on a part and not the whole, you get only a small part. If you concentrate on the whole, you enjoy all its parts. If you love money, use the law solely to amass riches. You may gain riches, but you will also lose so much more that is good that your life will be quite empty and lonely. And as I read that, I'm hearing Reverend Ike, who so aptly says that it is not the love of money that's the root of all evil, it's the lack of money that's the root of all evil. Because we recognize that wherever there's lack, that's what causes people to operate in a way that is unlike their true self. And so again, this is why we must understand that someone like Elon Musk and others are operating from a place of lack, not from a place of abundance. They are operating from a mindset of limitation and scarcity, not a place of abundance. By the way, an indictment on so much that has taken place in this country and what created the wealth of the United States was lack and limitation Only lack and limitation and greed would have you design a system where you steal people from their nation, enslave them, create a system that tries to make them think that they're less than human, and create a system and use your religion to try to justify why you're doing this, and try to give them your God and your religion to try to justify what they're doing. All of that was rooted in greed, which is ultimately a root in lack and limitation and scarcity. Remember, what is complete prosperity? Complete prosperity is well-being in every area of your life: happiness, health, success, and money. We want the whole, not just the part. And so often when we hear the words prosperity and abundance, when we hear these words, the thought immediately turns to money. But money is just one expression of supply. Money is just one expression of abundance. And so if the question, what about the billionaires, comes to your mind, it might be an indicator of where some of the limits in your own thinking are on abundance. Because the billionaires, millionaires, wealthy class, anything related to money, that did not have to come up in your mind. But to the extent that it has, this again surfaces that maybe you were focused on the part and not the whole. Maybe you were focused on money and you weren't thinking about happiness, radiant health, and success. Hello, somebody. Now, Hallowell goes a little further when he talks about this, and he says, I knew a man who determined early in his life to concentrate on accumulating money. He attained his ambition and became an influential power in his town. He confided in a friend before he died, saying, I did everything I knew to become rich. I gained riches, but I lost the love and companionship of my wife and the joy of being a father to our children. I lost my health and am spending my wealth to regain my health, but somehow it doesn't respond. Yes, I learned how to get rich, but I never learned how to live. This is why I will continue to affirm and continue to remind you what complete prosperity is. That's why we have to put the qualifier in front of it. You actually don't need it, because this is what prosperity is. But for us to understand that anything else is incomplete prosperity. Happiness, radiant health. I love that word, radiant health. It's that qualifier in front of health. It's something we read all the time. Ernest Holmes uses it a lot, because I think about how the sun radiates and beams. I want good health to radiate and beam in through and as me. Radiant health, success. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And money, because we recognize that we need money and we use money to do so many things in our lives and in the world. Complete prosperity. Now, I imagine if he ever comes to himself like the prodigal son, and maybe it's on his deathbed like the man in this reading, these are words that Elon Musk may utter one day. I did everything. I knew how to become rich. I gained riches, but I lost the love and companionship of my wife and the joy of being a father to our children. I lost my health and am spending my wealth to regain my health, but somehow it doesn't respond. Yes, I learned how to get rich, but I never learned how to live. The symbolism that also comes to my mind, we're still in the month of May. May the 4th has passed, Star Wars Day. Darth Vader is the living embodiment of this. He's the living embodiment of, I never learned how to live. He chose the dark side, and it gave him many things, but he had to wear a suit that kept him alive, which was his lungs. And it was again on his deathbed in Return of the Jedi, right, where he finally comes to this same awareness, right? And thankfully, Luke and his son, as his son, was able to forgive him, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story. But let's take our attention off of Elon Musk for a second. Well, not for a second, for the rest of this sermon, because I'm tired of thinking about him and talking about him. It's easy to point the finger and talk about all of the wrong he is and has committed. What is helpful is to use him as a cautionary tale, not against being wealthy, but to expose the deception of lack, limitation, and a scarcity mindset. Again, to go back to Star Wars, the dark side is deceptive. Master Yoda warns us of the deception of the dark side. Lack, limitation, and scarcity. You can have it all and be empty, cold, and dead inside. You can look good on the outside, but have nothing going on in the inside. I'm hearing the words of Lauryn Hill. How you gonna win if you ain't right within? How you gonna win if you ain't right within? Come again. So what we must take from this is the opportunity to examine ourselves. What we must take from this is the opportunity to examine our own thoughts and our own mindset, lest we become in one way, shape, or form an Elon Musk in our own world. Lack and limitation can be deceptive. And until today, you may not have realized that you too were operating from a scarcity mindset. Anywhere that we limit God to one expression, we are operating in lack. Anytime that we limit God to just money, we are operating in lack. And so when I hear the question, what about the billionaires? I don't just think about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Oprah, Rihanna, or anybody else. I think about you and I think about me. Because in truth, each and every one of you are billionaires. In fact, science teaches us that the very body that you possess, it's not just your billionaire status, but it's your trillionaire status. Did you know that trillions of cells make up the body that you possess, that you're walking around with trillions? We receive each and every day actually an infinite number of rays of sun that we take in and enjoy. We possess an infinite capacity to love. We are actually love billionaires. You may remember a sermon I gave in 2019 where I said we're love millionaires. Well, I'm amping it up. And what I said in that sermon is that we demonstrate our billionaire status when we freely give and express love. And so this is part of why I don't really question the billionaire class in terms of its existence, but I question the billionaire class in terms of how they show up in the world. Because what I know to be true is that where there's great responsibility, where there's great power, there's great responsibility. What I know to be true is to whom much is given, much is required, much must be demonstrated. And so you too are a billionaire in this world. Abundance and supply is not limited to money. If there's a billionaire class, we all belong to it, not based on financial worth, but based on spiritual worth. In order to make use of your billionaire status, you must operate in and from your own awareness of abundance. Abundance is overflow. Abundance is well-being. Abundance is thriving. Abundance is joy. Abundance is connection. Abundance ensures that all are provided for. Abundance ensures that all who need are supplied. And so as a billionaire, understanding your spiritual net worth, you take that consciousness when you go to vote. Understanding your spiritual net worth as a billionaire, you take that consciousness when you go to the grocery store. Understanding your spiritual net worth as a billionaire, you take that consciousness on the bus, on the plane, on the street, wherever it is. And Hallowell says something powerful about abundance, about this billionaire status that you possess. He writes in the text, nature is a prolific producer of blessings which she gives to all humankind. See, that's why I can call you a billionaire. That's why I know your spiritual net worth is that of a billionaire. That's why I declare that you are part of the billionaire class, because you are receiving something from nature. You are receiving something from life, God, source, the all that is, that gives to all, that blesses all, and produces for all. Accept your billionaire status today. And as I leave you, I want to leave you with the question, and I trust that you hear it in a new way. What about the billionaires? What about the billionaires? What about the billionaires? To that we say amen, ashe, and so it is.
What about the billionaires? If you found yourself asking this question or wondering why we were talking about why PG was bringing this message today, it's because many of us are operating from lack and limitation and don't even realize our billionaire status. The beautiful thing about this message, there's so much there, so much to alert your attention to areas in your life where you are unconsciously or subconsciously believing in lack and limitation and either fearing your success and prosperity or judging other people's success and prosperity. Let's stop that. This message is a beautiful opportunity to see your prosperity story and where it lies. It's also a great opportunity to remember as we start the Prosperity Circle next month, that will be your opportunity to release your lack and limitation stories. We're going to be there to help you do just that. So please join us for the Prosperity Circle next month. But please come back to this message. If you feel yourself in judgment, in envy of others' prosperity, it's time to heal that story so that you can be prosperous. What about the billionaires? Do you want to join the billionaire class? Well, come on. Thank you, PG.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And so in this moment, it is time for giving. You see the information on your screen. It's very easy to give to CSC. You can go to our website, celbrationsc.org/give, or you can text your dollar amount to 347-744-9500. There is a $10 minimum for text to give. And as a note, this is a different number than the number to join the mailing list for the digital connection card. So again, that number, 347-744-9500. But what's most important? It's most important the thinking behind your giving.
Yes.
If you've never written that down, it might be a good time to do that. What's most important is the thinking behind my giving. Whether I'm giving of my time, my money, any time that you are giving, it's the thinking behind it that matters, right? And so when we say, as you give, you receive, what we're saying is that the thinking that's supporting the giving, that's what you're planting as a seed, and that's what's going to show up in your life. And so what we want to encourage you to do is to continue to keep your mind fixed and focused on abundance. When you make abundance your religion and understanding that you're actually giving from an unlimited source, that you've lived long enough in your life to recognize, just as you've had different jobs that brought income to you over your life and over your lifetime, we recognize that there's something back of, behind, and underneath that continues to supply. Every need is supplied. That is the consciousness that you give from. You're not even necessarily giving from the perspective of like, oh, I really want to help CSC. That's good. That's wonderful. That's noble. But the consciousness behind giving must actually be this larger consciousness of where you're giving from. And so that's why you freely give. We give in love, and we love to give freely. And it's from that place of awareness, when we give from that consciousness, then we can affirm this powerful truth, which we affirm each and every Sunday. All the money that I circulate,
returns
to me multiplied. In a never-ending cycle. Of increase. And enjoyment. To that we say amen.
Amen.
Ashe. And so it is.
That
increase in enjoyment is financial increase and financial enjoyment, but notice there's no qualifiers. So it's increase in enjoyment in every area of your life, in whichever way you may need it at any given time, because we don't limit supply to just money. Yes. And so, of course, we are grateful and thankful for your gifts to CSC. We are grateful for your continued support of CSC, because, of course, this is how we are able to continue to bring this live stream and continue to bring new things to you as a community, as we are and will be doing with the CSC Prosperity Circle. We trust that you will have a wonderful remainder of your day, a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful Mother's Day for those that are celebrating in whichever way you choose to celebrate. We look forward to you joining us together on Wednesday for the Momentum Prayer Call. And then we will be back together for our final Sunday of this month. We'll be back together to close out our Law of Abundance series and prepare a beautiful launching off point as we move forward into our masterclass and the CSC Prosperity Circle. Again, we're encouraging you to learn more about the circle. When you can go to our website, celbrationsc.org/register. All of the details are there. And of course, we look forward to you choosing to join the circle and prospering this summer. Happiness, radiant health, success, and money. We love and appreciate you. Have an amazing Sunday. Bye for now.
Bye for now.